welcome to Coffee with the Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It's our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. Every single month, we're excited to be here in Chambers at City Hall, as always. It is open to the public. We haven't seen much of the public yet, but we do think that day is coming very, very soon. Of course, I am joined by the one, the only mayor of this beautiful city, Gregory Orovec. Hello.
Top of the morning to you. I'm going to say top of the morning because it's the St. Patrick's Day version of Coffee with the Mayor. So put a little Irish cream in your coffee, won't you?
I wish I could, but I am afraid to do a show with Irish cream.
Yes, that was, of course, non-alcoholic version, flavored. If
Irish
the Irish cream
yes.
flavored.
The coffee flavor.
While we're on City Hall grounds, of course.
Of course. Oh, that's true. I don't know if you encourage drinking it.
But as a chamber event, certainly in the afternoon, because this is more like cafecito with the mayor
yes.
in the afternoon here.
High tea.
Certainly on a Friday, on a weekend where we will be, and when we will be, celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Hey, have at it.
I feel like they're inching us closer and closer to that bar atmosphere on a Friday evening, because for some reason I keep having to show up here on a Friday in the afternoon, but that's okay. We'll get there. I'm just not
Margaritas with the Mayor is coming to a show near you.
And I cannot wait, and I will be in line to purchase those margaritas for the mayor. So we have a huge show today because we got just so much going on. There's so much hope on the horizon, and I want to make sure we talk about all that kind of great stuff and access and eligibility and all that kind of great vaccine news that people have sort of been waiting for. I feel like you're feeling more optimistic, probably the most optimistic I've seen you in since last March.
It's crazy this last year that we've had, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like the accessibility to the vaccine is improving. Mm-hmm. And that is the way for us to get back to our new normal is the vaccine. And so with the governor bringing down the age, and we'll get into that in the next segment of the show, we'll do a rundown of that. And of course, we'll take questions. But there is a reason for hopefulness. We just have to continue all the way through the finish line. You know, when you're running a race, you don't let up before the finish line. You run through the finish line, you give it your best, and then you let up.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do as a community.
And I think we're doing that, at least it seems to me that we're working together.
Many of us are doing that. There are, in fact.
I may have seen a few not doing that.
Yes, what is the right word? We'll just say citizens that we wish would not let up to the other side of the finish line.
Yes, but we love them.
We
anyway.
do. We love them. We just wish that they would run hard through the finish line. Yeah. Please help us.
Lock arms.
That's it. Let's make it happen. Let's get through it, and let's get back to the life as we know it, as we knew it.
I feel like we both get very chatty in the afternoons because we typically do the show at like 8 in the morning. And I've noticed when we do afternoon shows, we're both very chatty.
Well, we're fully caffeinated at this point.
We are. And I'm getting a little jet fuel in as we speak. You've got the old Mountain Dew jet fuel.
I got my green Zero Mountain Dew. So Mountain Dew, remember, we have an amazing adventure park opportunity coming to the city of Port St. Lucie. Still waiting for your call. Call me.
Okay, very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to visit with our sponsor, as we always do, and your partner over at the
you got to get the big money sponsor up here.
You got to get the big money sponsor up here. But also, I just want to warn everybody, I am drinking coffee. You are drinking Mountain Dew. Buckle up. It's going to be a long show, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson. I'm here with my good friend, our sponsor, our partners at the Civic Center, and now Mid-Florida Event Center is the new home of the Florida Sports Hall of Fame. Please welcome from Mid-Florida Credit Union, Maylin Joseph. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's Friday at like 2.
Yes.
But that's okay. And you and I both had a late night last night.
Yes, we did.
We welcomed the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce to the Treasure Coast last night.
Coast area. So brand new chapter.
Brand new chapter that you're vice president of, and And we're excited. We like to be welcoming of groups like this, just like ours. We're all in this together.
All
We
in
can
it
help
together.
one another. So I was very happy to be a part of it, and thank you for inviting me last.
Yes, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you. And like you said, joint ventures are always the best thing.
Yeah,
We
let's
can't
not.
do it alone.
No, we need a little bit of everybody, don't
Yes,
we? So,
yes.
so yeah, happy. We'll find some way to work together in the coming.
Oh,
months.
absolutely.
I'm sure of it.
You're my girl. We're going to work together.
So we just celebrated the Florida Sports Hall of Fame is now located in the Mid-Florida Event Center over
Yes.
there on US 1. And the mayor spoke very eloquently at
Yes.
the grand opening. So we enjoyed that. So Mid-Florida is really just, putting a stamp all over St. Lucie County,
Oh,
and
yes.
particularly Port St. Lucie.
Particularly Port St. Lucie, because we are a community-based institution, and we want the members to know that we're here for them, not just to come and open your accounts and, for your financial part, but also community. That we're here to take part, to participate, and enjoy, what's surround us, just like you do. So.
And so it's important for people to note that, first, if you don't frequent your Mid-Florida and get your loans and your checking account, your savings account, and your Christmas club, I have all those things there, just so you know.
Okay.
I take care of those that take care of me. I have a loan, I have a savings account, I have a checking account, I have my Christmas
There
club
you
with
go.
you
So
now.
you're-
I just opened that.
You're a full member.
I am a full member. I am a complete member. I am supporting my Mid-Florida. I got my parents to do it too. But the reason why I want people to take advantage of, you have great rates, you have great interest rates, you have great rates, but you're a nonprofit. So the money that we spend with you, or we're able to garner through you, a lot of times what you guys earn, you reinvest in the community.
Yes, goes right back into the community. And as a member, you have voting rights. So you can come in and say, hey, I want lower rates here, or I want higher rates there. So you have a say-so, because we are a nonprofit.
So right now, I do hear that you have a great car rate happening.
Yes.
So tell everybody what it is and how it works. Because if you've got a loan with somebody else right now, you can transfer.
You can transfer. We do a lot of refinancing, again, because we are a community credit union. Right now, auto rates are 2.94. And different things can happen there if you go to a dealer, if you let us know, as far as the term, different things can be worked out. So yes, there's good things happening with the rates, especially in the refinancing part.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go to the dealer, you get this rate atrocious high, and then you can just come in and we refinance it, put you in a better position. That's our overall goal, is to always put that member in a better position.
And I appreciate that. That's very good. The Christmas Club, people should be thinking about their Christmas Club right now,
Yes.
because that is a great interest rate.
It's
How
a
much-
great interest rate. Right now, it's 0.5%, again, because of, thank COVID.
Yeah.
But of what's going on, but it is one of the higher ones right now. You put it in, it's kind of like a don't touch account.
Yes.
You put it in there, and then you just let it sit till November 1st, and then you can go do your shopping. If not, you let it roll over again, and as soon as the rate goes up, that one goes up automatically too.
Okay, very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And what happens if we take it out before November?
If you do happen to come in and you take it out, there's a $5 charge.
Okay.
If you touch it before, because we want you to know it's a don't touch account.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little reminder, I'm not going to touch this because there's a $5, So
Okay, very good.
Otherwise, it's a very good account for you.
And what branch can we find you at, Maylin?
I am the branch manager at the US 1 location, very close to the Mid-Florida Event Center. So I get people knocking on the door all the time, even for the COVID, to come and do testing. They think it's at my location.
they think Mid-Florida and they go to
Yes.
Mid-Florida.
Yeah, so they
I
go
can
to
see
me.
where that happens.
Yes, but we service them, send them in the right direction to get what they need. Yes,
That must be very fun for you.
I
to
know.
staff all day.
Yeah.
Because your doors are open.
My doors are open. Our drive-throughs open 7 to 7. We're also open on Saturdays 9 to 1. So we cater to the member. We in a holistic way, we cater to them. So we're there for them, whatever their needs may be.
Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate everything you guys do for the community. Really, you are just a top-notch community partner and a community bank, which is
Yes.
sort of hard to come by anymore.
Yes, nowadays.
Yes, there are fewer and fewer, and we're very happy to have you because we know that you're going to take care of us and we're going to take care of you.
Absolutely.
So the website is?
The website is midfloridacreditunion.com. You go on there. We're on your phone, laptop, you name it. We have online banking. We're a full-service credit union.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times you think of credit union is only for teachers, it's only for this group. We're full service. As long as you live, worship, go to work in the area, you can be a member.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
yep.
And you can even join online. You
You can even join online. Yes, you join online and you can set up appointments. I get appointments all the time now.
Good.
So you can go on there and set up an appointment that you want to go to this branch, that branch, whichever is favorable to you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in because this is the first time you've been in studio
I know.
since last March.
I know.
So we appreciate you coming down, making the trip to be here in person.
Oh, absolutely.
Always nice to see people in person.
Yes, it's much better.
All right. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with the mayor once again. Welcome back to Coffee with the Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson here with the one, the only. It's the mayor, actually.
It is.
So
Good to be back. And
It is good to
the
be back.
next segment.
it is, we already have
Let
questions.
me unmask for this segment.
Okay.
We have more than 6 feet. There are, well, a total of what, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 people in this room. And we have special air filtration in the chambers. So I think we're good to go.
We're feeling good about it.
Feeling
Do
good.
you feel that you covered that enough that we will not get Facebook comments?
No, because someone will always just be on the other side of your announcement.
Yes.
One of the fascinating things that I've learned in going on 25 years of public service now is that no matter how accountable and transparent you are, no matter how much you communicate, you can never do it enough. And there's always someone just on the other side of your reach. And this happens in ways big and small. It happens making an announcement at this meeting and then someone will come on in 5 minutes. It happens when we have to legally notify people of a public hearing. So when we have a planning and zoning item that impacts land use or zoning, you have to legally send a notice out. Like your friend Brad, he's part of these projects where you have to legally notify property owners within a certain distance of an application.
Of a new project.
And state law often requires 300 feet. But in Port St. Lucie, we wanted to be more proactive. So we actually changed our law so that it was 700 plus feet. But it doesn't matter. So when it was 300 feet, there were people at 350 feet just on the other side of the line. And now at 1,000 feet, you're on the other side of the line. So there's just always someone
That's just
on the other side. Mayor, why didn't I know about that? Why didn't you tell me? Well, we put it on we put it on the Facebook page. We put it on Nextdoor. We put it on TV 20. We ran an advertisement in the news, and it's just,
And you put it on the property.
there's just someone on the other side of the notification always, and it just goes with the territory. And maybe even before we jump into the vaccines, I got this email that I want to share real quick, and you'll probably appreciate it.
And while
because
you're
it's
looking
about,
for that,
go ahead.
I will just say, I've known you a very long time, and I've seen the effect of just one person out of reach. And I feel like when you first started, you really wanted to reach everybody, and you realize it's just not possible. You can't change everybody's mind. But that's a tough thing to wrap your head around, at first, because you think, if I just explain to them, they would come around, but it just doesn't work like that.
No, but so there's a balance there. So you can never become so callous or have your heart hardened that you don't
Want to explain.
try.
Yeah.
So you try, and you always, I think it's incumbent upon a good public servant to always make a good faith effort and always try to work with people who are acting in good faith. But life is too short when people are engaged in bad faith or malice.
Or they're just contrarians. They just, whatever it is, they may just be contrary to whatever it is you say.
So if they're following rules of logic and fact and they want to argue, that's fair. And this job is all policy debate is all about fair debate. But when malice is involved, which is ill intent or logical fallacies, those types of things, well, then there's only so much time. And one of the things that has happened as we've grown is now that we're over 200,000. I mean, we're over 200,000 in a real way. It's really hard for me to respond to all the points of contact. It just gets very difficult. And in fact, that dynamic was in this email.
Yeah. What's this email about?
So this email is about growth.
Okay.
And the lady originally sent it to me on March 10th. and she followed up today because I hadn't responded to it yet.
Okay.
So good afternoon, Mr. Mayor. Wanted to confirm that you received my email that I sent below on March 10th. I know you usually reply right away, LOL. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So there's that dynamic of, what is today? The 12th?
Oh, it is the 12th, yes.
So I got this email on the 10th, haven't responded yet. So she's following up again because she hasn't heard from me personally on it. And the original email was, good morning, Mr. Mayor. My husband and I have been full-time residents in the city since 2017. However, we have been frequent visitors to the area since 2005. I must say that the constant development has and will forever dramatically alter the landscape and quality of life in this city. The city feel with small-time charm that was so appealing merely 6 years ago is quickly eroding and giving way to crowded roadways, businesses, communities, and a sharp and noticeable increase in crime and an overall feeling of safety. We are currently experiencing a rash of robberies and break-ins in Verano, and with 7-Eleven and Circle K about to open with close proximity to Interstate 95, I'm sure more crime is imminent. It is so disheartening to constantly see open spaces being bulldozed over for another fast food restaurant, strip mall, or another 7,000 home community. We live in a golfing community where the courses are so crowded now you can't even golf. How is that helping this city? I understand at this point the developers' money and, quite frankly, greed seems to have taken over. I truly wish the City Council would start to see this and perhaps start thinking of what is being lost on their watch. If the overall plan was to turn Port St. Lucie into Fort Lauderdale without the beach, then mission accomplished. For me and my husband, we felt something special here. We relocated to PSL because we loved the area, wanted to continue our business here, work towards retirement, and be in our retirement home. At this point, it is not out of the question that we will retire somewhere else. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for your time, and I hope you and your family are doing well during the pandemic.
Well, that was nice of her to end that way.
So there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack. I have a lot of thoughts, but I'm going to keep them to myself and let you go first.
No, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So I think everybody struggles with this because as humans, we are immensely tied to our very own quality of life. It's just how humans work. So it is hard to empathize in all those other entrepreneurs and residents that are also want a piece of that quality life. So we can't expect something to be just for us, unfortunately. Although I, too, fall victim to wanting that because I am human. And, you know me, I think that you can't move somewhere and expect it not to change if you have not checked every piece of land around you. If it is not a preserve or protected, the chances are, especially if you are in the southern United States in a coastal town, chances are very good that it is going to be developed.
And I appreciate those takes, and those are all, I think, fair takes on this issue. So let's just take a big picture look at this, in that Port St. Lucie was established by a developer from New York who came in and clear-cut 80 square miles of Florida wilderness and turned it into 80,000 quarter-acre lots.
Yes, he did.
So we were one of those what's called paper subdivisions, where a big-time developer comes in and puts on paper a huge community. But something happened here in Port St. Lucie when we were incorporated in '61. This is our 60th anniversary coming up next month. People started to move here. Now, at first, it was relatively small numbers. 1970, there were 330 people here. But by 1980, it was 15,000, and by 90, it was 55,000. And so even though those numbers were smaller, compared to each other, it's geometric growth. So from 1970 on, the city of Port St. Lucie was a boom town. Mm-hmm. And we've had huge booms along the way, including the early 2000s, when we were the fastest growing community in the country, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. So that's part of us. That's part of Florida. And going back to that planning and zoning theme, I don't know if this resident is from Florida. I'm from Florida. I'm a native. I was born in Florida. And so that this dynamic of growth and watching pine flatwoods be bulldozed, watching wetlands be filled, watching the degradation of our waters. That has been my life experience. I was born in 1974. The people who were born before me saw it happen, and our children are watching it happen. So this dynamic isn't new, but what you hit on about not, closing the door on someone behind you. I was born here, but I was born here in 74. No one closed the door on my parents when they moved here from Michigan and Ohio, respectively.
Oh.
But I was born here, and we don't close the door on other people. Port St. Lucie was always destined to be a larger community of people moved here, and they did, and they continue to do so because of our quality of life, and because of our location, because of Florida amenities, because we're a low-tax state, because people like not shoveling snow, and this community in particular, relatively speaking, is safe, beautiful, and prosperous.
And on the ocean.
And objectively speaking, by objective third parties that rank cities, we're highly ranked. So people are naturally going to continue to make that choice to move here. And going back to that planning and zoning theme, just because you see woods or something that functioned as an orange grove 20 years ago does not mean that is what it's destined to be.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where we've talked about before. I was lucky. I started my career in planning and zoning, so I learned that you should always look at a future land use and a zoning map before making your decisions or in setting and helping you set your expectations. Because just because it's woods now doesn't mean that's what it's legally entitled to be. And in addition to the people that would want to shut the door on the people behind them, I don't like hypocrisy. It's one of those things that drives me crazy. This particular resident is in a community west of 95 that's part of the 50,000 plus entitled dwelling units, legally entitled. That means the current city council cannot just say, no, you can't do that.
No, you don't own that land.
No, we don't own it. We can't tell them no because it's legally entitled. They have a legal right to develop that. And that was given in the early 2000s. And she benefited from that. She moved to a house that was constructed as a result of that. And the same legal entitlements that resulted in her neighborhood is resulting in the neighbors, in the homes, and the businesses around her.
And I think it's fair to say that the people in the neighborhoods before her neighborhood were not happy about her neighborhood.
Correct. So there were people. But so the interesting thing about PSL is that for the most part, people have embraced the growth and the positive aspects of it because it means that we're a desirable community. And in many ways, we've been growing in the right way. But now that we are getting to this size, we're going to see this more and more, this dynamic. And so it's incumbent upon us to keep what we like about our existing city and try to manage the growth so that we get the upside without the downside. And what's the upside? Well, of course, one of our questions here is how can we get Trader Joe's in Port St. Lucie?
We all know.
So we get a version of this every single coffee with the mayor, every forum, every town hall, every HOA meeting.
Every chamber meeting, any chamber speech. Yes, it's always that. We always get that question.
So at least we got a Sprouts on the way. So if you're in the market for that type of experience, understand that a Sprouts is coming to St. Lucie West, was in the paper this last week, which is great. But how do you get Trader Joe's? You have enough people
making enough money
within a drive time of the location. That's how you do it. You actually need high quality growth to get that and to get your favorite restaurant that's not here. That's what you need. So if you would just lock the doors right now and not let anyone else in, you would not get these things that you want. So how do we continue to grow with jobs and value added development without seeing traffic or crime or litter or all the downsides of population growth negatively impact us? That's the challenge. But just saying no, it's not a legal option.
It is not.
The only thing the city can do is take something by eminent domain, and you have to pay. It's tough. You have to show a public purpose, and you have to pay for it. So the idea that the city could take 7,000 acres, the 7,000 unit development, that's not realistic.
No. But it always is interesting to me that people do think, well, I should be the last one in the pool and nobody.
Yeah, it's okay for me, but everyone
we're
else
done.
that wants to do the same thing
Shut
that
it.
I did, no, you can't.
No. And it is true. And I've been in public service for long enough to know that I had 2 empty lots beside me when I bought my house, but knew unless I wanted to shell out some money, they weren't always going to be empty. And those are the things that you have to think about, be conscious of. But how do you deny somebody the right to that lot? They own that lot. They want to build a house. You cannot deny, legally, you cannot deny them that right. And the same with these commercial projects. They think that you as mayor dictate what goes where when. And I find that humorous because that is driven by the market. And that is driven by, brave people that are willing to take a dip into the entrepreneurial pool. And it is not determined by local government to some degree, to most degrees. Typically, you must allow what is allowable, right?
We must, and we have to respect the land use and zoning that's in place. So I do think that this is a fair conversation, a fair public policy debate for the city to raise the bar. You've heard me say this before, even if we happen to be on a different side of a particular argument, is I don't think that Port St. Lucie needs to have a gas station, a fast food restaurant everywhere. You do not have to do that. That is not legally required. But if you already have the zoning district that allows it,
then you have to allow it.
Then you have to allow it.
And I don't disagree with you. So the reality is, as you know me, I live kind of in a wilderness type area. I love the wilderness, and that's why we moved there. So I'm not unlike these people. I would like to see some woods, some greens, and some bobcats, and maybe my bald eagles, but I have to be realistic. And it's not that I want to see another car wash or gas station or any of those things, but I just know that those people that own those lots have a right to do what is allowable there. And that's where we fall. It's not that I want it. It's just that I don't know how you say no to one and yes to another when they're both allowed. And that's the thing. Now, if you guys want to dig in deep and change land uses, you change land uses. I got no problem with that either. But as it sits now, if it's allowable and they make application, that's where I fall. Then they should be allowed to do it. But if you are changing the use, I have no problem with that.
And so that is fair. Design standards are fair. If you're seeing a rise in crime in your neighborhood, well, we take safety very seriously. I'm sure that we're already working on that. Has your neighborhood established a neighborhood watch? Because it is great when the community works directly with the police department. That's a big secret to our success as a community, is how our community and police department work together on keeping us safe and keeping us the safest large city in Florida. So neighborhood watch would be an option there. And with any policy issue, I say educate yourself. You get educated on the issue, understand the possibilities, advocate, join with like-minded people, and then be the change that you want. I mean, I think that's the beauty of our system, that you can do that. You can be part of the solution. But the solution just isn't, we're going to shut the door behind us.
No, you can't do that. It's not allowable.
But this is going to be
always
at the top of the list of this council and future councils until something changes. And
until you and I retire, we're going to be answering, why do you keep letting things happen and grow? Where is my Costco? Where is my Trader Joe's? Until you and I retire or any of those things happen, we're going to answer those questions every single show. I will make a bet right now.
Yes, we are, and especially with how we're growing. So one of my talking points is that in spite of a global pandemic, and clearly bad things have happened to our people in Port St. Lucie and St. Lucie County, but in spite of a global pandemic here in PSL, good things continue to happen, and we're growing. It's busy out there. It's busy in here in City Hall. And so we're getting to that point now with our growth, with all of our scattered lots filling in, with Tradition and Verano and Veranda going gangbusters. You're just going to see this, and you're starting to see where people historically, maybe 2 out of 3 were in favor of growth. It's going to be more split as the people who are here are unhappy that so many people are joining us. So
I
you
think
are
it's
going to see
natural.
that. It is natural, but we're working on things like the mobility fee and our trails program, road building program, all kinds of things, land preservation program. That's what the strategic plan is all about. So that first step is to get educated. Please check out citypsl.com/strategic plan. And then, so in spite of a global pandemic, let's just real quick hit on the vaccination effort, because that's the way to get back to our new normal and get back to life as we knew it. We continue to get a lot of questions about who can get vaccinated. Been getting a lot of questions for a long time now. If you're immunocompromised, if you're especially vulnerable to COVID, how can you get vaccinated? Well, it's really started to open up now. So here's where we're at, and this is changing. This is changing all the time. So, please, a good place to go is www.recoverstlucie.org. All right, recoverstlucie.org. That's a good place to go, because not only do you get the information on the vaccine, but you get the information on the rental assistance program.
Mm-hmm.
So the city and also St. Lucie County were fortunate enough to receive an allocation of funding from the federal government from the bill that passed back in December. And that money is now becoming available for rental assistance, not mortgage, rental assistance. And the county is administering the program on behalf of the city, within the city. And more information is available at recoverstlucie.org. And they also have the COVID information. Of course, the city is a support agency in the COVID response. We're not leading it. I know a lot of people expect their mayor to be able to lead this, and it's not. It's being led by the governor. Governor's working through the Florida Department of Health and the 67 offices. There's an office in each county. We have a St. Lucie County office led by Clint Sperber. So the governor does it by executive order. Right now, where we're at is that persons 60 and up, I think starting on Monday, will be able to get a shot. You have K through 12 school employees 50 years of age and older, sworn law enforcement 50 years and older, firefighters 50 years and older. And if you are vulnerable, as determined by a physician on a form that's provided by the Department of Health, you can go to CVS, Sam's, Walmart, or Publix.
Right.
And
Great
so the county Department of Health has worked through their backlog. So now when they do a mass shot event for the state criteria, they ask you to go onto their page and sign up on their Eventbrite wait list. And then you get a ticket, and you need that ticket to get your shot.
At the mass distribution centers, yeah.
Yes, and they've been running those at the Fenn Center and also at the Event Center.
Yep. Both of our.
Not at the US 1 bank location, the
No, you
credit
can
union location, at the actual event center.
There's a
at City
slight
Center.
size in buildings.
Yes.
Yes. One is.
Yeah, Maitland's got a large office. It's not that large. No.
One's 3 city blocks, and the other is a small bank, a small credit union bank. So there's your distinction. We have a lot of questions.
Yeah, they're building up, and so this first one, Trissa, we get this one all the
lot.
time. I get this, if not every day, I get it every week. Why are our taxes so high? And what I would tell you is that your city taxes aren't high. We care about the tax rate in the city of Port St. Lucie. We actually study it. We benchmark ourselves against other Florida cities, and we're actually one of the best for our size. So when you have your tax bill, please take it out, and I want you to take a look at it. I want you to look at what's called the taxing authorities. So there's a column on the left-hand side. It has taxing authorities there, and then it lists all the taxing authorities. We're 2 of those. We're City of PSL and City of PSL voted debt. Those are the only property tax rates the City Council and I set each year. All of the other rates are set by other governmental institutions, meaning not us. They are other elected and appointed officials outside of our control. So we set about 20 to 25% of your property tax bill. So it is fair for you to say that your overall tax bill in St. Lucie County is high, but it is not the city of Port St. Lucie. We've lowered our taxes 5 years in a row here, our property taxes in the city of PSL. I expect that the city council will make it 6 this year.
Ooh.
So as we continue to grow and diversify our tax roll, the overall property value of the city, we try to in addition to meeting the needs of a growing city and roads and
Infrastructure.
stormwater and infrastructure and all these things, we try to give some of that tax rate back to the people. So it's the balancing act that we try to achieve the quote unquote right balance through our strategic planning process, and the budgeting process is part of that. So again, go to citypsl.com/strategic plan to learn more about our process and how we allocate resources and try to meet all of these challenges and opportunities that we have. But know that the city of Port St. Lucie itself only sets about 20 to 23, maybe 25 in some cases, % of the property tax bill. And at the end of the day, if you analyze this, as I have, I believe that you'll find that St. Lucie County is about 2 mills higher than an average county, and that St. Lucie County is served by a fire district, an independent fire district, that assesses its own millage of 3 mills, rather than being part of the county millage or the city millage. So you got a county that's running about 2 mills high, and then you have 3 mills on top of that, and that 5 mil difference is what puts St. Lucie County over the top. That's my analysis.
I am not going to say that publicly because I like my friends at the county. But I think that it is important to say that you can go to PASLC, that's Property Appraiser SLC, stluciecounty.org. You can pull up your tax records, and you can see who is charging you what. And just a hint, one of those numbers is higher than the others. So we'll allow them to make their own
Well,
conclusions.
we've done the analysis, Teresa.
Yes,
So if
I
you go to
know.
citypsl.com/taxes, citypsl.com/tax, let me test this. We'll just do it in real time.
But can they access their own tax bill through the property appraisers at tax? Okay, very good.
So,
Oh, so
you
you're
can
j-
citypsl.com/taxes. We actually have something that explains the tax bill. And on this page, you should be able to find the millage rate analysis
Okay.
we do every year to benchmark ourselves against our peers, because, you know, there's this thing in government that I've seen that's self-congratulations. Governments, I don't know, because we're elected officials, and if we say anything critical about ourselves, a political opponent's going to
Take that and
take that and run with
You
it.
can't be self-deprecating in office.
So, but that cheats you out of improving, you know. So that brutal honesty, embracing the suck, if you will, that's critical to continuous improvement. And that's really what we believe here in the city. So rather than saying, oh, we're doing great, we benchmark it, we study it, and we put that study right online for everyone to see. And in that analysis, you'll be able to see each of the taxing authorities compared to the other communities in Florida. So when I say that the county is about 2 mills higher than other counties, it's right there. So regardless of what you would want to say, the analysis is there for people
I was just
to learn.
directing them to draw their own conclusions. You can spell it out for them.
But-
I was just directing them to the math. I wasn't doing it for them.
Yeah, I just, you know, I wish you would run for county commission one day, I'll tell you. But in any event, it's there. And to your point, the property appraiser is a great place to actually pull your property information and have a link to the tax collector, your tax bill.
Yeah.
And then you get to check out any piece of property in the county that is not removed from the public record because of public safety or something else. So,
Yes.
like,
So
you
you
can
can
say,
see how
oh,
much-
look, there's Teresa's house.
Yes.
Oh,
How
there's
much
what
does
she's
she
paying
pay?
in taxes.
Yeah, look, yeah, I know.
Yeah. But
That's
please
okay.
check that out, citypsl.com/taxes. And then again, you know, I get this question so much, and going back to the previous one, you know, the way to effect change is the same regardless of the policy issue. So it doesn't matter if you're advocating on a growth-related issue or a tax-related issue, a budget issue, a dog park issue, you know, educate yourself, you know, formulate a position, rally like-minded people to the cause and advocate. That's how you do it. It's the same thing with this. And so that tax issue, I want the taxes to be lower in St. Lucie County also.
Sure.
My platform is that we provide best value. So we're not going to be the cheapest. We're not going to be the most expensive. We should give you the most for your investment. That's value. To me, that's the definition of value. That's what I want the city to provide. I want the city to provide the greatest services for the smallest possible investment so that our taxpayers get the maximum value. Well, to do that, if you're upset about something, you have to make sure you're aiming at the right target. And to aim at the right target,
Why
make
would
sure
we
that
do
you
that?
are educated.
We aim first and shoot later?
Yes, thank you. The right order is ready, aim, fire.
Yes.
It is not fire, ready, aim.
Yes. I have not seen it. I've seen it more often the latter, but okay. At least we told them how you're supposed to do it.
So, Mr. Fasano, we're happy that you are trying to start a new company. That is great. So we have the president of the chamber here. I have some ideas on this one, but what are your ideas, Teresa, for someone who is starting the hot dog shack?
So this is just right up my alley, and I love it when we get questions like this because I feel like I can actually really help you, and I want to. The chamber has a program for small business assistants where you come in, we'll sit down, we'll make referrals to somebody that can help you with a marketing plan if you need it, somebody that can help you with your financial outlook. But if you are going into a brick and mortar spot for your commercial business, come and see us first because we want to talk to you about the entire process. Where do I go get my business tax license? Sometimes I even go so far as to say, this is what you want to put on your application. Let me help you through this. And then we're going to help you find the best location that fits your needs because it may not always be what you think. You have to look at marketing. You have to look at location. They always say location, location, location. But if that location is going to cost you 3 times as much as another location, you have to take that into consideration. So we'll help you at least gather all the facts so you can make an informed decision on where you want to put that. But you can start at the business tax licensing here at the city. You can go to cityofpsl.com. And there is a drop down, there is an application. But I would say, honestly, come do your homework with us for a little bit before you even start that process. So I'm going to ask Sarah and her team to put up the chamber's website and they can come on in. I love to sit down with people like that. It's exciting for me. I've been doing a lot of that lately. I told you I thought on the other side of the pandemic that we would have a surge of entrepreneurs because typically that's how it cycles when you have a financial or any kind of crisis. And we are getting a surge of entrepreneurs. So my phone's been ringing off the hook with small business assistants lately.
Thank you, ma'am. And I know that you get excited about that. You're very passionate, obviously, and that's why you do what you do. As you know, in addition to the partnership the city has with the chamber, we also have a partnership with Indian River State College and the Small Business Development Center. So if our citizens are open to it, and if I think it was the hot dog shack, was it?
Yeah.
If he's open to it, I'd ask him to give Elijah Wooten a call. And Elijah can be reached at 873-6374, 873-6374. And Elijah's our business navigator. He's kind of your portal to the resources that we have available here at the city. So we do have first-time business classes. We do have a program where we can actually hook you up with business counseling and can help you with the paperwork, the business planning, and all of the aspects that go into starting a small business. And we have some programs, and thanks to partnerships with Center State Bank, I'm looking forward to Mid-Florida having a similar program with us. They're so proactive. I'm sure it's just
No, I love Center State.
it's just months away from fruition, but they actually have made some funds available that we pool with some of our federal resources to do a grant for small businesses with some microloans and some straight up grants after you go through the education process. Because, it's one thing to give someone a fish. It's better to teach them how to fish. And so that's what we try to do. And for learning how to fish, then you get a reward at the end, with that grant and or microloan. So please contact Elijah, see how we might work together. And we're looking to build our portfolio of small business programs. We want to help more small business owners succeed and take it to the next level, and then establish small businesses. We want to help them turn into mid-sized businesses. We want to help mid-sized businesses become large businesses.
Yeah.
We want to help large private businesses do their IPO, and go public. We want to help that whole ecosystem, Trissa. And we just talked about this at our retreat just a week and a half ago. I guess going on 2 weeks now. And I see big things in the future with that. So that's long term. Short term, we'll see if we can help the hot dog shack
Get up and running.
get going.
And, whether you call Elijah or me, we all kind of mingle together. Elijah and Isaias and I do a program together. We're doing it virtually right now on starting your business, and the city gives them credit if it's in the city of Port St. Lucie towards their tax licensing and perhaps permitting. So we all work together. SBDC will make all the right referrals. So whether you call Elijah or myself, it doesn't matter. Just call one of us for sure.
Thank you, ma'am. So why is the Humane Society back in trouble again? I'm not aware of the Humane Society being in trouble, so you'd have to help me understand more about the question. What I can say, and just guess, this is like, oh, you're trying to guess what the issue is. So the Humane Society contracted with a veterinarian. That veterinarian had a surgery, I think, that went wrong, and then there was a complaint filed against, I believe that veterinarian was in an accident, and that DUI was suspected, and it's under investigation, and that's all I could really say about it. But it was a contractor, it wasn't the Humane Society itself, and we'll have to wait for the details to be fully revealed before we can speak on that issue. But I do know that a dog was lost in what I would consider to be a routine procedure. It was a terrible tragedy. I feel terrible for the owner of the dog. But that's the only thing I'm aware of at the Humane Society. Overall, I think things are going great. And of course, I wish that wouldn't have happened with the contracted veterinarian. But when you have a licensed vet and something bad happens, I can't at this point blame the Humane Society for that. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I'm seeing in the news is that the county in Fort Pierce are working on a different Humane Society, and it's a shame that we can't have one Humane Society. But there again, I don't know what trouble that is other than the trouble of starting a new Humane Society. So that's all I know. I can't say if it's a Mr. or Mrs. Wright, but if you want to give me a call at the office and tell me more, then maybe I could hit on the right issue if I didn't just now. So with Ms. Russo, what I would say is that we do have programs available for existing housing stock, and the Neighborhood Services Department is the place to go for that. And so we do have a number of renovation programs and other resources available depending on the circumstances of the homeowner.
I'm sure we can find people to help if there is a homeowner in need. So, reach out to us. But I don't think we can walk around and knock on doors and say, hey, we don't like the looks of yours.
Well, in a way we do with neighborhood services. So neighborhood services is where code enforcement is housed, and that is also where our housing programs are housed. So we do, in fact, try to make that linkage wherever possible.
Good.
And of course, with so many homes, that's just, that's part of the process, and it's something that happens every day. We had a question or an issue from Kyle Morin regarding bus stops. And I would just say on these specific, what I call constituent cases where you have an issue, I would encourage you to call 871-1PSL. All right, there's also an app available online if you go to cityofpsl.com/1PSL. And for any of these constituent issues, quality of life issues, feel free to call 871-1PSL or go on the app and report it. And you should see us attempt to resolve it to the extent possible. And then you can always escalate it to the council office and me directly by calling 871-5159. So something like that, you just got to call in, provide the intersection, your contact info, and then we'll work the case. I mean, this is a big part of my everyday life is working these cases. This is, I've never...
This is happening. One person somewhere is parking in front of a stop sign where this person has to probably drive by every day. And so I understand where that is irritating them. But that is an individual issue, but we need to address it.
Well, and it's so to this person, to Mr. Morin's point, It's most likely blocking sight at the intersection.
Yeah.
So it's a sight triangle issue, and heaven forbid something happened there. Then you got if Mr. Moore lives on the corner, it's not great when people park in what you perceive to be your front yard. And we actually did change that law in the city. You cannot park in someone else's swale, even though it's technically part of the road, without the property owner's permission.
So you mean swale, which is on the interior side of the
The
ditch?
street side. The street side of the ditch. You cannot, so
Okay.
even though that's technically part of the public right-of-way, it's part of the road, if you will, you cannot park on the grass in front of my house, Teresa, without asking me for permission.
Okay, good to know. I did not know that.
So we changed that law a few years ago because it is weird when someone would park in front of your house and then walk somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's paved on-street parking and we're living in the big city. This is quarter-acre, single-family homes, and it's strange.
It is strange.
So we attempted to address that. And then you're responsible as the homeowner for maintaining that area.
I was just going to say, Bruce can't stand it because you're digging up his front yard. Is exactly
That's exactly
how he
where I
feels.
was going to go.
He takes such pride in his grass, and if you're digging it up with your tires, he's not a happy man.
Yeah, and you should, and that is awesome that he does that. And so it is natural that he would want to protect it and take pride in it and not want to have some usurper / visitor, mess with his lawn. So yes, so that's totally understandable, and we can absolutely work on that. And for a lot of these issues, going into the next one for Miss Neff about litter and trash, call 1PSL. So she wants to know what we could do about builders. So this is a constant,
Yes.
and what we can do is you can help us, and I pick up litter in the city every day. Just like I'm working on a constituent case every day, I pick up litter every day. Sarah's not in her head because she's probably seen me pick up litter before. I pick up litter everywhere I go. I keep litter grabbers in my trunk in case it's something that we don't want to touch.
I was just going to say, I
I
have
keep
litter
a bucket
grabbers
back there.
everywhere.
So I'm always picking it up. It's so important for us to keep Port St. Lucie beautiful. The builders, you have subcontractors, especially in this environment where there's construction everywhere. They are not as caring as we'd want them to be. They chuck their box of food, their bag of chips.
I'm dealing with it now. I've got 2 houses going up on the side of me.
So I would ask Teresa that if you see something, please call 871-1PSL, report the site, and our building department will let them know that that's unacceptable in Port St. Lucie.
Yeah.
So what can we do? We can enforce against the contractors that are engaging in bad behavior. As far as it relates to piles, the property owners can do a better job of putting their piles out, making sure if there's anything that can blow away, that it goes inside of a container. And something the city might do in the future is require containerization or bags. So that's one of those future things that will be evaluated. Because I think you're going to see a move towards automation anyways. And what do I mean by that? I mean garbage trucks, where instead of a garbage truck with the driver and 2 haulers on the back that pick up the garbage and throw it in, you're just going to see a driver with a truck that has a crane arm, picks up a garbage can, dumps it in. So
Like they do for our recycling.
correct. So when you get to that point, you're going to have it in a container, and then you're less likely to have uncontainerized debris blow away. But what can we do in the meantime? You can report a problem to 1PSL, and I do it all the time. I call in to 1PSL every single day,
You
just
do?
like I pick up litter.
Oh, wow.
I have a direct secretary connection to 1PSL, but I am what you would probably call a frequent flyer.
And you got to love your frequent flyers. Who has to answer those phone calls, Sarah? I can't wait.
Well, Daisy and Christina are
Daisy.
usually taking mine. Jasmine is the rollover, then Salome. So yes,
It is the right
there's a
thing
line.
to do,
Marianne,
but
when things get real.
my heart is with Daisy today, but it is the right thing to do. I actually just go out and pick it up because the reality is, well, for one, it's been super windy lately, and so it's been especially egregious. But I do have grabbers everywhere. I probably have 6 pairs of grabbers around my house, and just grab and do your part. But I understand that you don't want them to do that, and it is not what they're supposed to be doing.
And probably people would be amazed to learn the number of crews that we have patrolling the rights of way in the city and the gateways to keep them looking the way that they do. And I call in when I see scattered litter on Crosstown or Rosso or Gatlin or any road across the city. I call it in, and then we clean it up. We also, even though Florida Department of Transportation maintains things like, I-95 and Turnpike, call that in all the time. The county is responsible for St. Lucie West Boulevard / Reserve interchange with I-95. Call that in all the time. Prima Vista, St. James County roads that we maintain all the time. So we're on this all the time. And it's great when people pitch in also. Haven't seen my friend Gary Smith in a long time. Hope he's okay out there.
He is. I actually talked to Gary not too long ago. He's great. He's going to get back out there soon.
All right, good. So people serious about litter.
Picking up litter, though. He actually.
Yes, I'm sure he is. But it takes volunteers. So just like we do it, I adopted my street. I would ask that you adopt your street. If you haven't done it already, please check out Adopt a Street, Adopt a Park, and help keep Port St. Lucie beautiful.
I know that's always been a passion project of yours, is litter and debris and.
It's just a basic thing. So if you want to give back to the community and you don't know what you want to do and you don't have much time, just go out there and help keep it beautiful.
Yep.
Mayor,
Yes.
Caring Cleanup Community Day. I'm probably saying that wrong. Our cleanup day is April 10th.
April 10th. And what is the shortcut for Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful?
K/KPSLB, cityofpsl.com/KPSLB. And it's on there. She is doing it in person this year.
Georgette?
Yes.
Georgette Beck is very involved in all kinds of things, making sure that she's reaching out to people to try to help keep Port St. Lucie beautiful.
So for the Adopt a Street program and everything, you can go to citypsl.com/KPSLB. Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful, the initials for that. So thank you for that question. The next one was, what's going into the St. Lucie West Publix when it goes to a new location? It is not probably the big thing you were looking for. It is, in fact, a Bell's.
A Bell's outlet or a regular Bell's? Because there is a huge difference
Yes,
in the shopping world.
I don't know if it's the department store or the outlet. I just know it's Bell's.
Very good. Well, I'm happy to see retail, to be honest with you. I mean, we've lost so much. Our Steinmart closed up. We lost our Bed Bath & Beyond. It's a bummer.
It is. So, but for everyone who has an Amazon box at their doorstep every day,
I know.
you can only get so mad.
And we've talked about this last show, I think, is that I hate having to order from Amazon, but sometimes I'm forced to because I can't. I'm having a hard time finding things in retail stores. Sometimes I'm a frequent flyer, as they say, at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I'm having a hard time. I'm really having a hard time. So I have to order some things on Amazon, and I hate myself when I do it.
But you still do.
But I still do.
So before we went to online retail, and you had Amazon and Walmart, entering the space in a big way, you just had the Walmarts and the superstores displacing the smaller retailers,
store,
right?
yeah.
Remember when that was the
Depot.
huge displacement?
Ace Hardware versus Home Depot.
Yes.
And
Yeah, exactly. Remember those days?
I'm old.
It's not that long ago, but, and there's that sentiment, well, I don't want to support a big box store. The reality is, as much as I would not want to go there and go somewhere else, I go there. I go there at 10 o'clock, closes at 11. I go there at 10 o'clock quite regularly. That character right there in the audience, I've seen him at Walmart a million times, Super Walmart. I mean, just literally a million times I've seen him there. Every other time I go there, I see him there. And we're doing our shopping. And, I would love to support a Main Street somewhere, but we're all cost sensitive,
And convenience. We are people driven by convenience, and you can try to hide it, but it's there.
I'm a Florida native who grew up shopping in Publix, but I know that the skinny girl poppy seed dressing I want is $1 a bottle cheaper at Super Walmart. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, there's a couple of things like that, and it makes a difference in my family's shopping bill.
So we have that argument, and when I leave here, I'm going to my Walmart neighborhood store where everything's so much cheaper. And I fight with my husband, who's not a fan, and I sneak into Walmart when he is not with me and buy a bunch of stuff that I know that we need and just put it up there. Oh, we don't need that. We have it, because he does not want to go to Walmart with me. But it is so much cheaper. I don't know how you can say no to Walmart.
I can't throw the money away. So
Yeah.
shopping, just in the grocery shopping aspect, we go to Sam's, we go to Aldi, we go to Super Walmart, and then Publix for specialty items, certain produce things, sushi, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, meats and things. There are things but he is a Publix guy, and I feel that he's a little snobbish. So I sneak to Walmart behind his back and fill his cupboards with Walmart goods. He's none the wiser.
Well, with those staples that you buy all the time, it ends up
It
being
adds
significant
up.
cost savings.
It does. It adds up.
So it's really that same dynamic now.
Yeah.
With the Amazon versus bricks and mortar, and it's going to be interesting to see how all this impacts land use and zoning. Just bringing our show full circle. How does this impact utilization of land in communities like the city of Port St. Lucie? Because you might not need the physical retail, but then you will see the warehousing.
Yeah.
And so right now, and just to close on a high note on the economic development side, we have a 1 million square foot facility being permitted in LTC off of Midway right now.
Yep.
And we have a 250,000 plus square foot warehouse, in addition to all the other things that you've heard of, like the FedEx. This is on top of that, being permitted in Southern Grove right now. So it's shifting from the inline bricks and mortar retail to warehousing with a lot of jobs in those warehouses.
Yeah.
So how will that impact us? How will that impact our development pattern going forward? Remains to be determined.
And it's going to be interesting because I think that people will start noticing the large industrial type buildings that are warehousing goods, but these are the same people that are getting same day delivery on their Amazon orders. So you can't have it always, people. Just remember that next time you craft a question for us here on.
Well, people have always wanted to have their cake and eat it too.
We all do.
We all do. But if you really want to help lead the community, change the community for the better, then you have to come to terms with you can't have it both ways.
You can.
And you have to become educated on these issues. They're multifaceted. And then once you have that foundation of having your arms around the facts, then you can really start making a difference with policy solutions and trying to find that right balance. And we want people to do that. And people, in fact, are driving the improvement of Port St. Lucie through our strategic planning process. Sarah, Maureen, the team, they just did an amazing job at the Citizen Summit. We had it outside this year in addition to a virtual event, which hundreds of people attended via Zoom. We had a pop-up event, an in-person outside event at one of our new parks, Winter Lakes Park, and it was outstanding. And people are helping build a better Port St. Lucie and preserve Port St. Lucie, because land preservation is a big part of our strategic plan now going forward, as is greenways and trails,
And it is
multimodal transportation. I mean, your city, through Mattamy Homes, has an autonomous vehicle driving around Tradition. Not everyone has
Is it
that.
driving or sort of scooting?
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want it to be a hot rod quite yet until you
Well, it
you've
is
tested
far
that,
from a hot rod.
that AI, Teresa. But I mean, how cool is that? And what we're doing with the multimodal and the mobility fee, I mean, rather than St. Lucie West just being, a 6 or 8 lane superhighway one day, it might stay 4 lanes for traffic, but then it might have golf cart and autonomous vehicle lane that fits better into the fabric of the community. So there's a lot of exciting things going on, and I say be educated, stay constructive, figure out how you can help, and then make it happen.
Well, I think that is a high note. We'll leave it at that today. I have many things that we could dive into, but we have more shows that we'll be doing, and I know that we're in a bit of a time crunch today, so I'm going to let you get out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And actually, we did have somebody in the audience. Did we ask him if he had a question? Sure. Oh, so, we finally, he always has a question for the mayor. We finally get somebody into our audience, and we didn't ask him if he had a question, so we just have to, just this one.
Well, hello, Mayor Orovec. It's always a pleasure to seeing you, even though you see me all over town running like a crazy lunatic. I have a question about our special needs population. And I've been to your office 100 times, and I've asked you about this 100 times. My question is for low-income housing for special needs here in our St. Lucie County and Port St. Lucie communities. I know we've talked a lot about possibly constructing a private community for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, kind of like the Promise of Brevard, to let the people with intellectual and developmental disabilities actually live on their own, get lessons, maybe have a garden of their own, because this is where we have an issue. We see a lot of stores going up. We see a lot of, like Urban Air opened up. But we don't see a lot of special needs organizations getting promoted or getting the kind of the recognition that we need to have. And because we have a lot of group homes in St. Lucie County. I don't know exactly the exact number, but my main thing is I want to see more opportunities for our intellectual and developmental disability population to be able to live independently when they're fully capable to. I'm writing a bill actually soon, supported decision making, which is I'm the first person in the state that actually has that. And with that bill hopefully getting passed this year, that's going to open up a lot of individuals that have their rights and that can live independently, but open up a lot of doors to actually rent a home or.
Well, thank you for your question, and what a fantastic spokesperson for that. And it seems I was unaware that you two know each other very well. So that's on me.
Happy, and glad to have him here again. I don't know that he's been in the office hundreds of times, but definitely out and about in the community, and appreciate his advocacy. So I'm a member of the city's Affordable Housing Committee. So that's one avenue that I could explore this issue and try to help answer some of the questions and to see if there's an opportunity for the city to partner. But the city itself is not a provider of public housing.
No.
So that is not a service that the city provides, and that's why you don't see us take a more active role. We would need kind of an institutional or nonprofit partner to step into that space and then be the driver of that, be the champion. We certainly have land and zoning that would allow it. So you need that group that's doing the fundraising and then has the know-how to operate it and to make it what you want it to be, which is, something, a place, a home that lifts people up. So we just, the only thing stopping that from happening is an appropriate
Partner.
who is a developer, owner, operator.
Yeah, and I know you'd be very supportive of that.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, and I like the holistic approach where you build everything in, because for me that goes back to the teaching someone how to fish versus giving them a fish. Always, if you want it to be sustainable and to continue, after that first push, you have to build something that's built to last.
Yeah, it's a great model.
It is.
All right, so I'm going to give you one more opportunity to leave us with some positive words because we.
Well, that is positive, and I'm glad that you could join us today, and that you're writing a bill. That's pretty awesome.
Definitely awesome. I have never written a bill.
No, but then you got to get it passed. That's the. All right. Well, fingers are crossed for you.
I believe in him.
Yes, absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
thank you, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I hope that you had a chance, by the time you see this, you had a chance to go out to the Mid-Florida Credit Union Event Center.
For the festival. And I'm going to implore everybody to feed their children corned beef now when they're young, so they still have my husband is deathly afraid of it, and I grew up on it.
I think it's great. I like red potatoes. Not a fan of boiled cabbage. I like the coleslaw, but
I'll eat all of it, but I grew up in so apparently it's like coffee. You have to develop.
a taste for it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it's good. It's
Yeah.
tasty.
So there you go. Go to the festival, eat some corned beef.
All right. We'll
Words
see
to live by.
you next month.
All right. Have
Thank
a
you
great
for
day,
your-
everybody.